elevator. We got a top floor. I can say you're my back. You might jump back. Yeah, what you say? Yeah. Chwani, anytime my steps, fucking funny. Taka one, but just that tag. Do the style, you know we don't pop. Keep on a vapala, vachenga vatala, makampala. Yeah, come for the cat to Katali. We push and stay strong like Natalie.
Away, Namibia's land of the Braves. It's the NSK here. It's another Friday, and we bring you Industry Loop. And no, we are not outside the studio today. We are not in the field today. We decided to bring it back to the studio. And because we still try to make sense of what happened last week Friday. We're still trying to understand and deal with the emotions of what happened with last week Friday. If you missed it, and this is your first time that you're tuning in, last week Friday we had literally Namibia's Dr. Dre. But instead of having him here, we went to his home. And as you saw by that podcast, which is available on all New Era platforms, by the way, you saw that the situation there is not going well. So we would really like to thank every single person that reached out via radio, that reached out via our New Era platforms, that reached out via our personal DMs and said, look, NSK, look team, we want to help and we will help wherever we can. And if you still didn't get a chance to help, please call the number on the screen right now at the bottom, okay? Just take down that number, call that number, because what I understand is that the Artists Union are going to streamline all the proceeds and they're going to do something together as a collective for Elvo. So, that being that, welcome once again. My name is NSK, and today, as you know, on Industry Loop, we bring you people that are legendary. Every single guest that we've had on this couch has been legendary. And every single guest on this couch went through something one way or another. But because these people are legendary, because these people have been in the industry 15 to 20 years, we haven't quite had the chance to hear their side of the story. Because the newspapers would report on it, the gossip blogs will report on it, hell, even car wash conversations would report on it. And today we have a gentleman that's going to own his truth. We have a gentleman that is going to bring his side of the story. We have a gentleman that has been, how do I put this? He's a gentleman that most of us grew up listening to. He's a gentleman that we, every time when we switch on our radio, he's the voice that we look forward to. He's the man that has been entertaining us for over 15 years, possibly even more. We will hear from him now, okay? And like he always says, when it comes to this medium of radio, he has never worked a day in his life. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Eto Namibia, please help me welcome Kaz Bass Fandi Plus.
Yes, sir.
KBVDP. Cheeze.
Yo, after that intro, who's gonna beat that? How are you, my guy?
I know we're good, man.
Yo, man, yo. Yeah. I didn't know it was that deep.
Yeah.
I will be honest. I've only watched one episode, and that was the Jericho.
The Jericho episode.
Okay,
that was also legendary.
Yeah, and I need to catch up with the elbow situation. And yes, look, it's not easy out there for a lot of people, you so-called legends, you know. And we'll get into that, I guess, a bit later on. And yeah, I will definitely catch up on that one. But yeah, thanks for having me, man. Yeah, I'm gonna.
Yeah, let's try and get through this a couple of things.
Yeah.
Listen, my man. Look, we're good friends right now.
Yeah.
But we never were. We were never really good friends.
No. Wait. We were friends. Okay, we were not friends. Okay.
Wait.
All right.
Let's go back, my
Okay,
guy.
let's
go back to the Energy versus Fresh FM days.
Okay.
Yeah?
All right.
Let's go back to these days. Now, here's the
you.
thing, right? Just a bit of backstory, right? I'm just a lighty from Mobish Bay at that time. I think it was 2014, 2015. I'm not even sure of the year yet, but it was a while back. I remember I took over from, was it Katiti or was it Robin Nakambo? The breakfast show. I took over the breakfast show at Energy 100 FM, and that time they gave me Crochet Snyders. Now, Crochet and I were like, okay, cool, let's do this thing. Crochet and I, we restructured the show. We, you know what I mean? We in it to win it, and we're doing the show now.
Yeah.
For Stanji. Now, obviously, I know about you at that time, but me at that time, it was just like, no, man, I'm on my own hustle here. I come on fair off. I come on beef me or patokal. You know what I mean? That's not my aim here. Let me just do my radio. Let me just hustle my little things there, and then I get to it. Sharp. So one day, right? One day, Crochet and I, we are on air, right? Crochet and I, we are on air, and I don't know, we were doing something, and a call comes in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I remember that. That was all me and Limey. That was all me and Limey. Yeah.
A call comes in, right? A call comes in, and obviously we answer. We are on air, you know, interaction and whatever. So we answer the call, and we hear laughter in the background, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're like, what can you answer, bro? You know, what's the story here?
Man, I don't know what the show was called. You were like, Energy, good morning.
It was Breakfast 100.
Yeah, and so we're on the other side calling from our breakfast show.
Yes.
And we were like, I wanted to prank you guys.
Yeah.
I tried to prank you guys. But then, man, when you guys said Breakfast 100, we just started laughing, Limey and myself. And I can't remember what I said to you guys.
Yeah, I also don't remember.
Yeah, but we were just laughing.
But here's the thing, right? In that moment, I didn't even look at it as pranking.
I hear you.
I was just like, oh,
it's on.
Oh, it's on.
Yeah, okay, I see what you
mean. You know what I mean? Me with my binary arrogance, do you understand?
Now it makes sense.
I'm getting there.
Okay, we'll get to the second encounter. Yeah, I got you.
So now Cheeze calls from his breakfast show to our breakfast show. I get really, really angry.
Facts.
Like, I get really angry. And I remember Joseph Jones that time was my manager. He was a station manager. And Joseph Jones was trying to calm me because my plan was to go to your station and go face you, bro. I'm telling you, bro.
Are you for real, homie?
No. I was gonna, and you know the station's not even that far from each other. I was gonna walk, bro.
Okay, I see.
Joseph Jones, I remember Joseph Jones, lazy. They were like, trying to like calm me and whatever.
Wow.
And they did calm me. Second encounter at the Namas, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, so can I take it from there?
Go ahead.
So, man, I can't remember what year this was now.
Yeah, it was 13, 14.
I can't remember. Yeah, so we backstage in the VIP.
Yeah, VIP.
It's me and a colleague of mine.
Was it a Twist, bro?
No, it was me, Twist.
Yeah.
Daniela.
Oh, there was another colleague. Oh, Daniela.
Yeah,
was also there.
Yeah, and then it was. I was speaking to Ricardo Manetti or something like that. And then I asked you for something. Because we were standing like around this table.
Yeah. No. It was a group of people. Like we were.
Yeah. And you like, and then I said, yo, what did I ask? What did I say? Yo, and then NSK looks at me like, this guy right here. So now with the context you gave, now I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, now I understand where it was coming. I'm like, and you're like, hey, gee,
so you never understood that context?
I didn't even know that you felt that way about the call. You know what I'm trying to say? What I didn't understand was, why is this guy acting like this at the numbers? Now I'm like, I know. What's up? Anakambasa.
I know it was I don't know. I never touched. Because the thing is, at the time, I didn't look at it as a prank.
I got you.
You understand?
I got you.
And also, no one from your camp explained that to me. I said, no, it was just an innocent prank, radio to radio. And you know what, now? Even Tafanji and Lucy K used to do that stuff all the time.
Yes.
Where they would call show to show. When they used to have Lucy Squared, Tafanji used to be on the drive. They used to do that stuff. So in my head, I like that. If I knew about that, bruh. You know what I mean?
But going off topic a bit, but do you think that is possible right now?
Not now.
It's not, eh?
Not now. Not now.
Okay, we'll get back to that.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
So that's his side of the story. So how I saw it in that moment.
At the Namas now.
Right, at the Namas. I'm standing with my partner that time, right? We sitting, it was round table, blue carpet situations, and I see you and Twist in my peripheral, right? And I remember DJ Sia and I remember Mavis Braga also there.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Right. I remember them so well because they were the one who pulled me away. By the way, right? So when you said that, and you saying drink water, whatever. No, you said hold my drink.
Oh, I didn't ask for water.
He didn't ask. He said, and he was like, hold my drink. And obviously in that moment, the radio thing that happened, I became aggressive.
Yeah, you were like, I'm like, whoa. What's up, homie?
Yeah, I became aggressive.
Yeah.
Sia tries to stop me. What? No, they did stop me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My partner at that time, she's like, yo, let's just, it's not the right time or whatever. Obviously, fast forward, and now I'm at 1FM, Kudu FM. Obviously, we had to squash that stuff.
I didn't even know it was something, you know. To me, it was just like, that rude guy from Energy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's coming
and
here.
And I just left it at that. But
so that's how you looked at me at that time?
After the numbers, I'm like, I don't even know, dude. Why is dude angry at me? You know what I'm saying? That was when we came back. I was like, and talking to Twist at the time. I'm like, it's like, who's that, dude? Dude, like, no, that's NSK. I'm like, and he's like, the guy from Energy.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, is that the guy? You know, I'm like, okay, but then we just kept it rolling, you know. And then to Komji must know that then you joined us. Planet Radio at the time.
Planet Radio at the time, yes.
Yeah, Radio Kudu, Fresh and Omulunga at the time. And then, I mean, from there, we just started. I mean, you were just working. This guy comes in front of the PC the whole day and he's out. I'm like, woo! This guy's going to make us look bad. NSK, early in the morning, late at night. Early in the morning, late at night. I'm like, bro, your show doesn't start until this evening. What are you doing here? So, but then I started to respect you in that regard because of your work ethic, you know. I mean, hard work beats talent any day. You know, and I think that's where you are right now. It's hard work. Nobody gave it to you. That's why I respect you, low-key G, for real. You made it. I mean, we from Warfish Bay. Name one Vinto guy that made it in radio like you did, besides me now. You understand what I'm trying to say? Just to give you a context of how you've worked yourself to the pinnacle of a very selfish industry, if I can call it that. Once you're in, you're in. Once you're out sometimes. True. You understand? Because you can get replaced like this in this industry. It's like, you're only as good as your last show. That's
the mantra.
You know what I'm saying? So, off topic here a bit, but I mean, back then, I didn't even see it as beef at the time, you know, but having got to know you when you joined the team, I was like, I had nothing but respect because of your work ethic. And I mean, it's NSK, man. And like I said, where you are right now, nobody can knock you. Coming from me, then nobody can knock you. Nobody can tell me ish. I mean, we always have, I mean, we're friends also personally now as well, you know, and I always tell you, you know, there's nothing nobody can tell you, bro. Nothing nobody can take away from you. I mean, there are always situations when we speak about work. You know, I'm not sure if you can say we work. But you know, we hash out as buddies, and like, you would advise me, and I would just tell you like, nah, you know that guy, just hang in there, or you know the system, just chill. Or you tell me, you know what, I got you, just hang in there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And like I say today, we are so as radio, we've been absorbed into so many different entities that there is no radio anymore, if I can say it like that. I'm sorry to say NSK, because where you come from, I mean, you guys have a bunch of stations, but there is one baseline that everybody follows, you know, and which makes you that is that house, and then you get a say print swallowing a station, you know what I mean, or starting a station and not giving that station the
oxygen it needs.
The oxygen it needs to flourish into what it can be. Or you have legends, brands, standing brands where people, regardless of what's on air, still listen to because it's just they grew up with it. And
the what do you call it? What is it called? The generational, the generational blessing. Yeah, because you grew up with it. That's what you know.
Let's be honest. Who wouldn't say growing up as a boy or a female and you wanted to be on radio as a person of color, what station did you want to go work for? Let's be honest. Energy. That was on the bucket list for me.
100%.
I remember calling into Jaya them shows, into Tashia them shows. I'm like, yo, one day, you know. And then God is so good, has been so good to me recently. It's like I got to tick that bucket list, even though. When I went there, it was to me, like you did in the intro, I don't work a day in my life. Once you put me behind the mic, it's what it is. You understand? But that day, I mean, that day I walked into Energy and I demanded a job. I didn't ask them for a job. I'm like, I'm starting on Monday. Sharp. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it happened. And like I said, God has been so good to me recently that it was a dream of mine come true, whether they understood at the time, not who I was at the time, because I mean, for the last 3 years, I've been going through some stuff.
Yeah.
You know? It's only now that I can breathe a bit.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
And, but like I said, it was a blessing to me.
Yeah.
And everybody thought like, you went from there to there. I'm like, no, the dream was to work there.
So let's track it back.
Yeah.
Let's track it back to old Planet Radio days, right? Now that we're on the subject matter, when I mean by old Planet Radio days, just for those that are watching, Planet Radio was the holding company that owned Kudu FM, that was changed to Jack FM at some point.
One Africa first?
And no, one FM first.
Yeah.
And to Jack, and Omulunga and Fresh FM. That was the company that owned the 3 stations at the time, Planet Radio. So that's the old Fresh FM. That's so just for your reference as we move on with this conversation. So let's take it back to Planet Radio days.
Yeah.
You go to this audition, right? The ad is out in the paper, and you go to this audition, you nail it, and you are part of the inaugural team.
Yes, sir.
That opens up Fresh FM.
It's our baby, yeah.
That's your baby now. And you started on the breakfast show, isn't it? You started on the breakfast show with Limey.
With Limey Alago, yeah. The story about Fresh, saw this ad in the man, I don't know, some newspaper. Flim Flum FM looking for blah 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 blah. That time, but
Flim Flum FM, yeah.
Yeah, but that time I was doing okay, man. I was where was I? I was.
You had a full-time job, right?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Listen, I was an accomplished salesperson. I worked at PC Center first. Man, I was selling, you know, your iMacs and back then we didn't even have iPhones then. That's how way back I go. And then I started selling. There was also a sister company within PC Center called Gestetner, which was a photocopy machine. I mean, you sell one machine, you sit like for 6 months type of situation. And I was doing okay, but then I was like, let's go try this.
Yeah, let's see what's happening here.
So I come there, there's John Paul Jones, Juan Foster, Mr. Norman Kotzer, family right now by now. So they just give me this news thingy to read, I knock it out the park. So they're like dividing us into groups now. Yeah. And then they give you harder things to read, and then they start asking you harder questions now. And then that's how people got eliminated. Yeah. At the end of the day, it was Hezron Kapanga, Lucy K. What's Lucy's real surname? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Lucy K.
But yeah, we know it's Lucy K.
Lucy K. It was Nona. It was Cannibal, Shilonga Shipala. It was Siku. No, Sima Siku, I forgot his name. And then Tony.
Tonata Kadila. As in Charlie Bass or what?
No,
not Charlie Bass.
No, it's totally.
It's a different, okay.
Forgot his name, man.
Yeah.
Siku, but we used to call him Siku.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. And then it was, I just mentioned the last person now, was of, Tonata Kadila.
Tonata Kadila.
So that was your 6 to 9 Cheeze and Lime.
Yeah.
After that, it was Tony with the midday something.
Yeah.
And then lunchtime, it was, the Gentleman's Club as well.
The Gentleman's Club.
Mufaro and CJ. Yes. Now,
I had CJ on the couch here as well.
Yeah, yes. So that was the team. For 6 months, we were lucky not to be on air. Because they took novices from the streets. And we were supposed to get the license to go on air. They wanted us to go on air immediately, like a month after the training. Yeah. But then obviously CRAN and back and forth. So for 6 months, we were just online. Yeah. So here but we learned how to hone our skills, because John Paul Jones was a drill sergeant when he came to, if he coached you on radio and you don't do it, your time check, your station ID, your show, if you are a minute late for your prep,
that type of thing.
He's a drill sergeant, But I think it's because of his on the ballness with us. That's why Fresh, like the day we went live on air, let me tell you, we didn't even know we're going live on air. So Lime and I, we're like,
you doing your usual.
For 6 months, we're like, speaking to the internet, nobody's listening.
Yeah.
But that morning, we just came in, we knocked it out the park. And John Paul Jones just came to the studio and said, you guys know everybody's listening. And I'm like, what do you mean? It's like, you guys are live. And that day, I think my life changed. And I think everybody's on their team's lives changed, because you can still find a lot of us still in the media industry doing very, very well.
Incredible things, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, yeah, man, it was an incredible time, and the way Fresh grew so fast and so quickly because we were encouraged to push the envelope.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys were exceptionally aggressive.
And that time, John Paul Jones was even like, you know what, if they sue, they sue. And that time he was not even a lawyer, he was just studying. And he's an advocate now. Yeah. And he was still studying just for his LLB at the time. And he's like, man, if they come, I'm a lawyer. I'm like, bruh, no, you're not. You're not a lawyer, but we got you. Yeah. And I think Cran at the time was also just still finding its feet because it was known as something else before that. Yeah. But then it just skyrocketed. Yeah. Like the first 9 months of Fresh, it was crazy. Limey and I we invited to State House. We were invited. That time Tom Alwindo was just in the planning. No, he was not. He was somewhere. He wanted to meet us. He took us for lunch. Yeah. And everybody wanted to see these two kids telling these older guys, you know, I used to say so much things about the founding father, about, you know, and I think we were just the voice of that time's youth. I mean, we are the generation, we had experienced a bit of apartheid. We lived through the transition of independence. Yes. And then towards the 2009, 2010, we were like being left behind because now we were like, okay, we don't fit with the older guys and we don't fit with these millennials. Where does my generation fall in? And we were the ones.
Because you don't have struggle credentials.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly, nice one. Yeah, so, yeah, and then the Cheeze and Lime show was huge. Yeah. It was such a fun time. But then the money came in, you know. Yeah. And then, I mean, Limey Lago, exceptional talent. I love her, my sister, to death. Exceptional talent. And, you know, then they started moving her to the white stations. I'm like, yo, man, why? Yeah. That's why, since Limey left the breakfast show I think she went to Kudu. Yes, she went to Kudu and then...
Oh, Wave, probably.
And then she went to Wave.
And then she went to Wave.
When she went to Wave, Wave was not even part of the...
Yeah, they were on their own, yeah.
So I tried to count like last year, so I tried to draw up a list of all my co-hosts that I've had since then. You know, I've lost count. I was with Tony at one stage, Tonata Kadila at one stage, I was with Crochet at one stage, I was with Tokozile at one stage, I was with so many. I mean, I was with Hafeni Namwira at one stage. Hafeni, Jermaine. Yeah.
Twist, obviously.
Twist, Trina. So, I mean, it was such a great opportunity to see so many young people come in. Yeah. And a Twist, I won't even want to blow my own horn here, but I've worked with the majority of everybody in the industry.
Now, check this out. Now, you obviously, as a result, you were literally synonymous with the station. Yeah. Okay, you were Mr. Fresh.
Yes, sir.
Right? There's no event or there's no activation that happens without a Cheeze. And at some point you got to a point where I remember very well you were saying that you were one of the highest paid, or if not the highest paid, represented in the country.
Was a fact.
And that was a fact, isn't it? At that time. How did that come about? Like, did management at the time see your value? Were the numbers speaking? And they said, and
of course they saw. They saw. Yo, man, we had the streets on lock. Fresh FM had everything on lock. I mean, it came to a point where everybody wanted. There was no advertising space on Fresh, especially the breakfast show. And I won't even lie. They made millions, and they had to take. I mean, you'll take care of Ronaldo, innit?
Exactly.
You'll take care of Messi, won't you?
Yeah.
And not to brag, but to me, I tried to use that as motivation, because I knew what other stations were paying talented people. If it was not Radio Wave,
then the rest is peanuts.
Kenji paid 2 days in the night. I know for a fact. I know because I chill with your boss, or I know for a fact that it is what it is. But back then, the highest paid. Come on, back then, it was the highest salary for any DJ, black DJ at the time.
How much was it?
Man,
well over 20,000.
Man, I still have colleagues who still work there.
Okay,
you know
all right,
what I mean?
okay.
You know what I'm trying to say? So let's not, There's no, oh, you got what? Let's not do that.
Yeah,
Let's not do that.
yeah.
But it was a thing of, this is actually, you can actually, I left a very successful career in selling photocopy machines. Like I said, you sell one machine, you set for 6 months, you sell two, you settle for the year. Now imagine selling four in 4 months.
In 4 months, yeah.
But the bug bit, and I fell in love. It was a passion. Like I said, I always thought if it came my way, I'd do it.
Yeah.
But I didn't expect it to be so good to me.
Yeah. Where did the problem start, though? Where did the problem start? Because, again, highest paid DJ, radio presenter in the country. Fresh FM is literally on your back. You got it on your back. You know what I mean? You guys are throwing all sorts of parties. You have all sorts of affiliations around the country. But then problems started coming in. Hold that thought.
And he was the general manager.
Yeah.
Coming to that. Coming to that. That's my producer, by the way, folks. And then, so you had the success, and obviously now you get promoted to the big position, right? GM or station manager of Fresh FM. What were some of your successes before we get to the problems? What were some of your successes as GM, as the station manager of Fresh FM back then with Old Planet Radio?
We didn't break even that year. We actually made profit after 4 years of existence. Fresh was
for the first time you guys made profit.
Yeah, I think, and I'm speaking under correction here. Carol, she was our finance lady. For the first 2 years, Fresh was running at a loss, major loss. Omulunga was carrying Fresh for those 2 years, but we were seeing the money coming, but we just didn't know where it was going. But obviously, it was a family-run business, so we didn't question those things. But that year I became GM, I didn't actually want, because they said they should go off air then. That was the rule. I'm like, nah.
Yeah, I actually like my own
because I was like excited to be GM like for the first week or so, but then the dealing with people
with the chair
and energy, you know, you're dealing with energies.
Exactly.
People come to your office but they're supposed to do your work, but then they look at you as a friend. I'm not your friend right now, I'm your boss right now.
Exactly.
Yada yada yada. It was challenging because I'm not a paper pusher, honestly, also. But I was only GM on paper for those first 3 months now. So I didn't take the GM aspect of things that serious. But when people got wind that I was, you know, they were just like, papers came to like find out now, look, here's this guy who wasn't nothing, who was just a big mouth on breakfast, and you're giving him the most successful youth black run station in the country. Facts at the time. Wait, who is this guy? I mean, there were a lot of articles that were written at the time, but like I said, it was such the GM part was still secondary to me, because I found, it's like you found your love, you found your girl, that's it, that's her. I mean, you can give me Kim Kardashian right now, I'll look at her, but I'm like, I see, me, it's not my forte. But I did a good job, because in that aspect, what I tried to implement it was with my presenters, we are a team. It's not a thing of NSK, that's your show, or, I mean, I had the luxury to say, NSK, tomorrow you do breakfast for the whole week, and nothing would change. Nothing would change, because at the end of the day, that was your brother's show. You knew what he was. Everybody was listening to everybody's show. Even if you didn't listen to the breakfast show when you walk in, you at least try and listen to the talks, and then you write me a mail and say, Cheeze, this is a mess up. I'll go and I mess up, and I listen to your show, and I say, oh, here you did this, you know. So I had a very strong team at the time, and it was, they made my job look, I was doing good, but I just brought the best out of very, very talented and very, very good people. It's just the previous guy, like Jumper was a good guy, but like I said, he was that drilled sometimes. As artistic people or as creatives, if you make the brain anxious, you get that creative block. The people go into their shells, and I think me being a people's person, my greatest success was to bring the people out in the person that I always saw in front of me. I hope I'm making sense to you. So I mean, we rocked it, man. It was gorgeous.
Okay, so basically, yes, you've got the GM position, but you were really in love with on air.
I was, yeah.
Hence, you could confirm right now that perhaps the GM position and you having to implement some of the targets that were set for you and so on started suffering a bit, isn't it?
Not to say no. Yeah. We were doing no. I was doing well on both aspects. Okay. It was draining. I won't even lie. At the time, my marriage was really suffering because I was at work all the time. Because after being Cheeze, you had to be
GM the whole day.
GM the whole day, and after being GM this weekend, you have to be team leader and
exactly and events
and yeah. But yes, like I said, it was a family-run business. Yeah. Then son came back from wherever he was, Cape Town or whatever, and then they had to make space for son. You know what I'm trying to say? You know who I'm talking about?
Of course.
Yeah. And then I walk into my office one day. He's like, "Yo, just go sit at the back." I'm like, "What's up, man?" He goes to my office. I'm like, "Okay, I see." And then the next Monday, he's like, "No, GM is XYZ." I'm like, "Oh, okay, whatever." You know, now you're just station manager. I'm like, "Okay, cool, thank you." Now I just have to worry about
the team itself.
About my team. Good.
Hold on. So GM was actually GM of Planet Radio?
Yes, sir.
Oh, snap.
Yes,
so
sir.
you actually had to manage all three stations?
All 3 stations, yeah.
Okay. We did not know that.
Yeah.
We did not know that. Okay, cool. So now you, okay.
I'm like, okay, cool, thank you.
Demoted now. Demoted.
Yeah.
But for you, it's a bit of a celebration.
Yes, sir.
Because now you can just focus on Fresh.
Yes, sir.
So now you're station manager of Fresh FM.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Good.
When did the problem start with you being the station manager of Fresh FM? Because at some point, as outside industry analyst, it was, okay, cool, Cheeze is there. He's the main man there. The next thing, you're not the main man there. What happened? Like why were you off your horse there? Like what happened there?
Yeah, like look, that was the first incident when Mans came back now, and I mean, you know, Daddy being Daddy had to do what Daddy had to do.
Had to do for the lighting.
Fine, like you said, was like a blessing in disguise. Cool. This was 2013, 14, 15. Things are going 14, 15. Then I actually put together a team of investors. I had 2 guys from Botswana and two Namibian guys who actually wanted to buy Fresh.
Separately from the group now? From
the group. And that time I was station manager. I'm like, I tell the owner at the time, Mr. Kotze, I'm like, yo, I have guys who want to buy Fresh. How much is it? And they would like to do some, you know, meet you, do some due diligence and take it from there. Cool. The price comes. The guys are like, yo, excited. I'm also excited because they're like, yo, Cheeze, if we get Fresh, it's weg. You know what I mean? Shop. They do the due diligence they do the books on Radio Kuru at the time. They do the books on Fresh. Because we didn't even know it was going to be a package. Because he was like, no, if you want to take Fresh, you need to take Kuru at the time as well. 1FM. I can't remember what. Yeah.
Well, what it was at the time, yeah.
As well, and they're like, okay, let's look at the books. Those books didn't.
Yeah, it didn't really balance out at all.
And Fresh was doing okay, but they were like, look, we don't want that one. We want this one. Okay, if you just want this one, the price went up another 5 bar. So the guys are like, okay, then we want Mulunga then for that price as well. And this was around about 17 bar to 20 bar at the time. And I'm speaking under correction, the real figures are only
the real figures, obviously.
Yeah.
Estimates.
Estimates, yeah. So the owner said, no, they'll get back to us. So man, I'm excited, bro. I'm excited.
Because now there's a chance of
we can actually make Fresh into what I had here for Fresh, you know. There were glimpses of myself in how Fresh was doing or what Fresh was portraying, you know. Because I mean, honestly speaking, I think it was the first station to actually like just embrace that, yes, Afrikaans is spoken by 80% of Namibians. Nah? Why keep it off radio? Why keep people who speak proper English but are not allowed to bring out that Afrikaans aspect? It was something very new. It was very innovative. Let's be honest about it. You know, everybody was either English, Afrikaans, or just your vernac. And Fresh was speaking to that generation of who just grew up. We all went to school in Kommersdal. We were them after independence, first black people to go to white schools type of thing. You know, there was no voice for those people. And Fresh provided that platform at the time. But getting back to us wanting to buy it, will get back to us sharp. 2016 goes by, 2017, we hear they sold to
Radio Wave now.
To Radio Wave.
Yeah. By that time, you guys were still in meetings,
yeah,
back and forth,
we now,
here and there.
yes, we're like, no, you'll get back to us. And now we see, okay, obviously the value of the station is either going up now, and so we are preparing ourselves to
for a more price. Or
and the guys, and now, okay, I'll say it's the guys from Yorona FM
in
Botswana.
Okay, that wanted the stake in this.
They were like, yo, so the pressure's on me, and I'm like, Norman, what's up? What's going on? And Arlene, and for a year or so, because we're like, let's not pressure the old man also, and then scare him away.
Yeah.
Maybe he was double dealing at the time. We don't know. Next thing I know, boom. Hey guys, I'm selling. Ha. See ya. I'm out.
And he's out.
I'm like, whoa.
And that leaves you in limbo now.
Now I'm like, whoa. Now I'm like, whoa. So you remember when the old man left, son was in charge, and there was that, yo man, it's my office now. You over there type of thing. We were not like. We weren't, because I was son when you were not here, homie. You know what I mean? And then old man leaves, who's in charge? I'm like, okay, I can't sell. These people are, they're not selling to us anymore. They sold to those people. This guy, my boss right now. Deal with it.
And
then on top of that,
for the other guys on the other
and then
side.
On top of that, he puts, there was this, man, I'm not even going to speak about this guy on air, but I'm just going to, you know who I'm going to say it is. Foreign guy comes in, was a radio guy somewhere, and he left the country and he came back, and then, yo, that's your new station manager. I was just like, nah.
And already that's now when problems started.
That's when now, that is where I was like, I literally, man, I have scars. I was stabbed, you know, by Zigzag, because I refused to put his songs on Fresh, right? Right here.
This new station manager. Oh, what?
No. I'm just saying, I literally have scars and blood for the station,
artist,
right?
Yeah, the actual artist.
And then you come throw this guy, who I don't know from a cloth of whatever, and you tell me that's your station manager. I'm like, okay, cool. Who's dude? Then I hear, no, he was at 99, and he's this big guy, what. I'm like, okay. Immediately, you could see that I'm not going to say I'm a people's person. I wear my emotions on my sleeves, type of guy. And in the corridors at work, that's what it is. Even when in a bad, foul mood, you'll see. From day one, I just couldn't understand this
transition.
This person.
Oh, okay.
No changes.
Because it was never explained to you also why you were taken off.
No, was never explained.
And why this person is here
yes.
now. And why he's so-called better than you.
And you could always see people were always closer to each other around the building, but I didn't care. That dude was more close to Son at the time. So that happens, and that's why I think I just went into a rebellious type of, I would get instructions, and I'll be like, okay, I'm allowed to do it.
I mean, look, you're owning your truth, bro. You're owning your truth, bro.
And I was like, nah. I tried to make, with hindsight now, it was more of an emotional, not emotional insecurity, but a very, my emotional intelligence was not even where it is right now. I was very immature. I think it was more immature response. No, because I didn't look at it as you might lose your job type of thing, All right, cool. So man, we came to fisticuffs so many times at the old building. But then, okay, the new people came in. I mean, you were people now. Yeah, when did you join Fresh?
Just a little bit before that.
Yeah, 2016,
17, 16.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now
16.
that's the time when you just also came. Right? Where was it? Right about the time the thing that transition was going. Then the new people came in, and I was like, whoa, okay, maybe some good things for Guan. Because we're like, oh, finally, it's not just going to be a family-run business. Yeah, it's going to be a proper company now. Yeah. And they're going to see proper loopholes, and they're going to see proper who's doing work here and who's not. Sharp. They swallow us up into the group. It becomes Future Media. and we didn't move immediately to the
we didn't move immediately,
And it was in that time where I think my, not animosity, but it's not beef, but we couldn't stand each other. I couldn't be in the same room as dude. Facts. Because I also knew you deserve that job way more than he does. And I was even like, yo, if anybody has to get this job, it's you. I told you that. I'm not even going to apply.
Of course, yeah.
And dude got the job, and I was like, and in the meantime, my personal life, this side, is also giving me jabs, you know what I'm trying to say? Because say the 15 years of sacrifice took its toll on my family.
So something must show for it.
Something must show for it.
Yeah.
And here I am back to square one. That's a professional frustration. Now the personal frustration comes in now. It's like, we've been doing this together, now what, Azeal? Now what? I'm like, yo, I also don't know, but I'll make this right, you know? Finance is not going well.
Because obviously that meant it's a reduced salary now.
Of course.
It's no more the highest paid.
It's you bring dude who just landed from wherever, and you shove him above me, and he shoves instructions down my throat that I said I will not work for a foreigner. I will not work under a foreigner.
In your homeland.
In my homeland, in a station
you know for a fact,
yes,
you are a chief, you're an expert in this field.
What can he do that I can't do as a Namibian? I'm sorry, I'm not xenophobic in that regard, but I really feel if there is a Namibian who can fulfill that post, nah? If you are not coming into this country to come and build or teach a skill that is non-existent here, my friend, I'm sorry, what are you doing here? I'm not to say your country is better or it's worse than us, or we're hogging our jobs as Namibians. Let's just be fair. There are Namibians sitting out there who can do your job even for less, né? But at least a Namibian household will be sustained in that regard. And that's how I looked at it. And then also to find out the people that bought it, then, you know, they also sold further. The stations were sold further most now. And now this time, this was now at the pinnacle of where I was already. You saw me at work. I was half the man I was. I was like, ah, man, you know what? My dream of owning that station is gone. My dream of even, you know, just doing making like, is gone. Yeah. You know, everything just professionally just started coming.
Because he was doing breakfast.
No, he was hogging everything. You know, he wanted to do breakfast. I mean, he took his strongest teams off his strongest shows, né? Just to show what type of person he is. He didn't care about the station. That was a personal move.
To show you more.
To show me, yeah.
So at the time, the two of you guys were having your battles.
Yeah, no, dude. I'm in the studio. Dude walks into the studio. Hey, yo, man. You didn't do your time check or what? This is in the breakfast show. You didn't do your time check. I'm like, dude, you just got here, man. Been in the studio for the last 10 years, dude. One time check, you're gonna walk in because you're station manager now. You're gonna walk into the studio to tell me I missed one time check out of 10 years. That was the day I think the securities came too, man. Because you know me, I lost it, man. I lost it. But anyway, back to the story. So that's where I was like, you know what? Maybe this is it. Because I'm also spiraling out of control this side because my marriage is done. You know, basically has fallen flat. That I will not put on this platform right now, but it was the type of betrayal that I would not wish on anybody. It was the type of betrayal that drove a friend of mine to suicide. I won't even lie, you know. I could have joined him. There were a lot of times, my friend.
This friend you're talking about is a cannibal?
Yes, sir. That's my brother. And, you know, when I left, before I left Fresh, for those first 6 months, I really started seeing a shrink. Because I couldn't understand. And you must understand how my support system is structured. It's only me. Well, my whole family is...
Especially at the time, because marriage is done.
Yeah.
Family is a bit far.
It's in SA, yeah. And I'm alone. I'm all alone, you know. And there were times where I really felt like, Kani, I felt like him. I could feel this is what he must have felt like, you know. And but there's something innately in me that I know I will never ever do that. I will definitely. I'm very capable of murder. I think rather than kill myself. I don't know if it makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Whether I'm a narcissist or a psychopath doesn't matter. But I would rather kill than kill myself. And yes, I mean it was rock. I mean it came to the point where I was not even fired at Fresh. I resigned. I was like, you know what? If you don't fix yourself, you will end up like dude.
And you had thoughts of killing him?
I had thoughts of getting him deported, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fresh announces that, you know, that you have amicably parted days. I remember that post, but people had a lot of questions. You know, like, what do you mean? This is Mr. Fresh. Like he's the guy that we tune in and we listen to. Just if you check those posts, you said you resigned.
Yeah.
But was it a resign on an amicable basis? Was it a not a good, like a resignation can never be good, but was it at least a thank you for your service?
Oh yeah.
We appreciate you. Here's a little something. We wish you well in the industry.
Look, when I resigned, I bypassed him. Oh, he didn't even know I was going.
All right,
you know, I went straight to the top, and I'm like, I'm losing my mind. I will kill somebody in this building, and I've just gone from seeing my kids every day to having to fight to see them, because of the person I've become at home. You know, because of the sacrifices I made here.
The last 15 years.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah.
And I was like, if you don't get out of this now, you will end up in. I'm telling you the God honest truth. I was going to end up in jail. So I leave Fresh. I didn't have anywhere to go. I was just
no plan.
I was literally going to kill somebody. Whether it was dude, whether it was a guy running to the street now, or whether it's somebody. If you look at me, it was going to come out. And I know myself, when I do get there, I go black. So in that time, I left because, like I said, I had to make sure my head was going to be right. Because I just started seeing a shrink, and I just started dealing and unpacking.
And so that was heavy.
Now imagine.
Because now you have to look at yourself.
Yeah, now I'm looking at myself.
And as a man,
I have to come to work. I go home, I get that.
Marriage is...
I'm like, whoa.
Now you're looking at yourself.
It was overwhelming. I won't even lie to you. It was emotionally and mentally overwhelming. And
that time finances are also a mess.
My guy. And I just found out that I had issues that 15-year-old me needed to unpack. 15-year-old me, where the anger actually came from, and the lack of knowing how to deal with conflict as a young man. We were just gaan moer om terug.
Yeah.
Of moenie
grew up in Soweto, bro.
Yeah, Pastanji. But in today's age, I can't just put my hands on you. I'm gonna go to jail. So I had to learn, like, sometimes having to pick your battles, walking away, you know, counting till 10 before you answer, even in a heated battle. Those things I only learned now at the time I was 39-year-old. I was learning how to be a man at 39, or to how a man should deal with conflict at 39. Imagine that. Things I was supposed to be taught at 17. And it's a handicap that most black men have, because our fathers don't go there with us. You know, our fathers are like, Khamuram. Instead of, why did you fight? Okay. Now, what happened before you fought? Instead of breaking down your anger and why you feel X, Y, Z, we were just like put in one bundle. And then that's how I came to work.
And obviously
you too.
Yeah.
Instead of like, you could like really potentially lose your job here.
Yeah.
Or you could potentially really hurt somebody at work. And imagine stabbing a guy at work in a media house, who both of you are. Those things, I'm looking back, I'm like, yo, that would have been front page. You know what I'm saying?
You mentioned cannibal.
Yes, sir.
Obviously, another tagline that you have is being the DJ Khaled of the industry.
All right.
You know what I mean? Like, granted, right? Because you would hop onto songs, bro.
Man, first of all, Khaled, had nothing on us before. Khaled had what song?
Khaled had albums, bro. What are you talking about?
No, We Taking Over was the first DJ Khaled song that I heard in my life. And he was like, we the best, right?
Yeah.
So how this DJ Khaled of Namibia, I was chubby. I was really unhealthily fat, looking back at it now. I'm sure you also want to talk about the weight loss, right?
We'll get there.
All right.
We'll get there.
So Cannibal, this one day, still at the old building. He was a production guy in the morning, and then before he did corner to corner with Nona. So he would do production. And so this one afternoon before corner to corner, actually no, during corner to corner, now I'm GM at the time. Kani's in and out of his show, man. He's in the studio, does a talk with Nona, then he runs back to production, and now I'm just sniping this. I'm like, and you know Kani was a character. So I'm like, yo man, okay, let me go check what's in production. I come in production, I find KK and Lil D. In the production booth. And they're doing the remix now of Kona. 20 years old, Skid out bread. I'm like, okay. The Kepasua.
Little bigger shirt.
You know what I'm saying? And then KK is out there. I'm coming now, you know. Sharp. I'm like, Kani, now, why you do the show and then you can stay months after the show and then. It's like, no, I didn't think I could have the guys here. I'm like, come on, man, it's me, homie. It's me, I'm your, I'm the guy to ask, It's like, okay. The next day, Curtis comes lunchtime now between 1 and 2 because he was working at F&B at the time at Auspan Plus. So Curtis, Catty Cat comes and then he laces his verse. Freedom Square,
just so that we are clear, not Curtis the artist, but
Curtis Yearwood.
Yearwood, Kitty Cat, please.
A.K.A. Kitty Cat.
Sharp,
Frank White, R.I.P.
Wait.
So Cat and I were homies. We were close. I mean, to a point also where he became our business partner, And that, before the remix, Cat and I were already chilling, because Kanye had introduced us when we started now vibing at Fresh as new. I mean, we were not on air yet. We were just training as DJs at the time. So Kanye, I came close. Yeah, I became close with Kanye like that, and he would take me to his homies, and we would, it was like you go to class, and after class, the young met the bras. And then I met Curtis, but they weren't talking.
Curtis and
Cannibal were not talking at the time.
Okay, yeah. But this is some black market beef now. Right?
Yeah, some like. Some childish thing, man. But anyway, so they weren't talking, and I'm just like, yo, man. No. They were talking. I'm sorry, I got it twisted. I got Ilatu Dane mixed up with Kona. They were not talking before Ilatu Dane, yes. And I had to force them to talk because Kanye played me this instrumental for Ilatu Dane for Let's Play. And then I'm like, yo, he said like the best guy on the song would be Catty Cat. I'm like, so call him. Because I wanted to, I just started managing Kanye that because the guy.
You managed Kanye at
He had mad beats for days. And I'm like, yo, let me just sell the beats. You can do your black market thing. Let me just hop on the business side of things. He's like, no, cool, man. I'm like, okay, cool. So we go like that. Cool. So I'm like, he's like, I got this beat, but I know the perfect guy for it. I'm like, so? Kidding me? It's like, now we don't talk. I'm like, what do you mean you don't talk? It's like, nah, man, it's Curtis. I'm like, really? Call up Cat. Cat was on campus at UNAM at the time. We get in my car, pick up Cat, because Kanye was still doing the afternoon show. I pick Kanye up after the show. Kanye's like, man, what's this guy doing here? I put them both in the back of the car. I say, hash this out now. And as they're hashing it out, I'm driving to Radio Energy because Cables was in production because I wanted to play Curtis the beat. And if Curtis liked it, I wanted him to lace it right then and there. And boom, Cat hears it. Hey, and he's like, boom, starts writing. He finished that song that night. And they were besties after that.
But Cables also involved now.
Cables was our engineer for that day. And that song was knocked out, boom, in the same night. We left it with Bosley. Bosley mixed it, he mastered it. Put it on Fresh, got mad rotation. Boom, that one's there.
So check this out. Let's take a small musical break. We will check out both these songs. We'll check out Corner the Remix.
Yeah.
All right. And then we'll check out Iloto Dane.
Let's Play. Yeah.
That's it. Let's Play, yeah. By Keri Keri. It does have visuals, most. Let's Play, yeah, it has visuals. Let's check that out. There's still a whole lot that we need to unpack. We're standing here with man, Radiohead Honcho. You know what I mean? And so much more to his name. We'll get to that in a bit. Stick around.
Lord, please protect my beautiful city and its beautiful people. 061, Vintuk, stand up.
Remix! This goes out to all the naysayers, the haters, no swag, having the fake players. The boys are back, sit down for a minute. Cheeze, we do this in our sleep. KB, VDP, we run this, it's nothing. Go get them, boys. Vintuk, stand up.
We love Kakutura. We stay on Mazula. Then go back Kupula. The mission is Mullah. We come from the corner, 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 corner.
Connie, I got you,
from the corner,
Miller, baby.
corner, corner.
Go get him, 61, we reside from the corner. Lose your life if you're dead, cross the border. From the Tura, expect the unexpected. Your neck is like Bluetooth, it get disconnected. The gift beef, man, need that shit behind you. WHK, bright lights gon' blind you. Rappers joking too much, hou op met die grappies. Kom na my kassie, ek wees jou lekker okappie.
Freedom Square, you know we don't care. Slap a dude in his face, pull a chick by the hair. I'm ahead of my time, my flow is doing front flips. Y'all niggas is left behind like two butt chicks. I'm in the cast all day with niggas that can't read, but when it comes to the guap, indeed they get the cheese. Still bumping Notorious, so they calling me big. Vintuk, stand up like a blunt for the kid. You dig?
Yo, check this out. Lil D.
Mission is Mullah. I'm from the corner, 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 corner. I'm from the corner, 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 corner.
I rap the corner, up 6-1 the area code. The niggas bad at green so much they in area mode. Remain a child at her even when I'm 70 years old. Then dip the heartbeat like the scene ain't no. Born and raised in a corner, yeah, a true thoroughbred. We're sharing, yes, caring, and we do borrow bread. I'm from the corner, and I am so proud of that. Prince of the 061, so nigga, do buy your head.
KK, Little D, Catty Cat, you know me. For the best, who the f*** want test? Go bojita yo mokona tulo nulo tulo chess. The corner girls dress the best. Now the corner girls are the best. To survive, you just gotta do you and try to avoid the swine flu. Vintuk, stand up.
I need a piece, we got this, it's clap.
Then go back Kupunda. The mission is Mullah. Come from the corner, 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 corner. We come from the corner, 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 corner. We come from the corner.
Get your hands up. Get your hands up for me. Get your hands up. Get your hands up for me.
If you love this city, like I love this city, I live for this city. And I'ma die in this city.
This stuff is bananas. 061, we told you. If you're not from the 061, I won't die for you, but we still got love for you. Vintuk, peace.
Love got the cooler. Stay on the cooler. Then go back to cooler. Mission is cooler. I'm from the corner, 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 corner. I'm from the corner, corner, corner.
We stay on Azula. Then go back Kupunda. The mission is Mullah. We come from the corner, 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 corner. We come from the corner, 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 corner. We come from the corner.
Popular demand.
Holla at
Hey. Hey, hey, hey. Haitika nave, oh no mano. Come here, baby girl, oh no mano. Haitika nave, oh no mano. Haitika nave, oh no mano, oh no mano.
Hey, that means let's play. I got a game that's designed for two, and that two should be me and you. Ila tu gane. Hey, that means let's play. I got a game that's designed for two, and that two should be me and you. Ila tu gane. Excuse me, shorty, don't you wanna get naughty? I'm trying to hand you my digits or something you can call me. I got a shorty, but at times she's kinda boring. You look like the type that I'll never be ignoring. That means play. Okay, get ready for the foreplay, baby. Wherever I'm at, I make the girls go crazy. Pretty lady, you messing with the C-double-T, and them other rappers ain't got nothing on me. I'm back in it like tongues and fat women. Your Mac game is right, that's why the cat keeps winning. The devil ain't my props, but I keep on sinning. In church, I do the healing. In streets, I do the dealing. Come on, Macy, then the J suit. Let me help you strip down to your birthday suit. Cause the A-rap on the chorus, he play games too. Ooh. That means let's play. I got a game that's designed for two, and that two should be me and you. Ila tu gane. Hey, that means let's play. I got a game that's designed for two, and that two should be me and you. Ila tu gane. Things work the other way in WHK. When the rats is away, then the cat gets to play. And your mister has whiskers, and man's out of town, so your boy gets to kiss her. That means play, so slide with me, then later ride with me. Cause I treat you like I treat your PlayStation 3. Rough with the controls, but gentle with the CD. If you feisty then in bed you gotta fight with me. Your friend said if I was a pillar you be leaning on me. Apparently like a shovel, you digging on me. I ain't the devil but you can start by sitting on me. And probably later you can start feeling on me. I hit the streets, now I'm about to crack the pavement. Cut the hair off, now I no longer look like a caveman. It's Kitty Cat and the whole black market entertainment. That means let's play. I got a game that's designed for two, and that two should be me and you. Ila tu gane. Hey, that means let's play. I got a game that's designed for two, and that two should be me and you. Ila tu gane. I'm the best at it, this cash addicts with fast at it. Got the game hard, like a chick just flashed at it. Double rhymes every time for the flow, mathematics. Cause on every mic, Kitty Cat spit fantastic. Why you mad at it? The fact of the matter is, y'all niggas is toy soldiers without batteries. Now back to you, hun, let me slap on your bum. You gotta scream my name before you actually. Hey, that means let's play. I got a game that's designed for two, and that two should be me and you. Ila tu gane. Hey, that means let's play. I got a game that's designed for two, and that two should be me and you. Ila tu gane. Hey, that means let's play. I got a game that's designed for two, and that two should be me and you. Ila tu gane. Hey, that means let's play. I got a game that's designed for two, and that two should be me and you. Ila tu gane. Big, I like them tall, I like them short, I like them all, I like them sexy, 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 sexy. Hey, Ila tu gane. Big, I like them tall, I like them short, I like them all, I like them sexy, 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 sexy. Hey, Ila tu gane.
As you know, this is what we do on Fridays. We bring you the biggest legendary personalities to come tell their side of the story. My name is NSK. You just checked out two songs, Kitty Cat as well as the Corner remix. And obviously, the man that we have here was involved in that whole process. If you just joined us, thank you. We appreciate you. We're having KB VDP in studio, Cheeze. Now, Cheeze,
yes, sir.
Before we went on our music break, you touched on the weight issue.
Yeah.
Right? Was the weight as a result of the problems that you were facing at both work and at home, or was it you intentionally shredding? Like, were you gymming, or were you running? Were you doing stuff?
Yeah.
You understand?
Okay.
Explain the weight issue for us, because yes, you are not the same Cheeze from back then.
I'm literally 1/3 of the man I was.
1/3, literally.
Literally. At my heaviest, I was 104. Imagine for my weight, for my height. I was morbidly obese. But hey, it was good life zonke. As Africans, the bigger you are, you know, the weight. My mom passed away in 2016, and my mom was in and out of hospital the whole of 2013, 2014, in and out. And like I said, at the time, my wife at the time, our medical aid was exhausted like thrice during those 2 years, actually 3 years. But the doctors, because, you know, we would just go by what my mom would tell us. You know, she'd go in the hospital, she'll be there for like 3-4 weeks, come out. Now my doctor says it's fine. It was towards the end where all this, you know, she had to go from Mediclinic to Central Hospital because the medical aid is done, right? And when she got to the Central Hospital, the cardiovascular doctor there, lo and behold, was a high school mate of mine. And I'm not going to mention the name because she actually...
She helped you.
She broke the code.
Yes.
And I was like, yo, man, please tell me. She's been in and out. What's going on? He said, yo, man, I think your mom's got 6 months. All right. And I'm like, okay. So she gave me the breakdown of everything. And it came down to, it was heart disease, diabetes, hypertension, everything to do with weight, you know, and some genetically also. And I asked her now, obviously, she's like, you are headed there if you don't do something. So I proactively decided that day, because I was a fit teenager. I used to play soccer, basketball. I mean, the name Cheeze comes from soccer as well, because they used to call me Cheeze Boy, you know what I mean? And from my surname, Matsoarelle also, obviously. And I was really fit, but it's when I started doing radio, you know, they call it the breakfast show body. It's where your sleeping hours are very odd, your eating hours are very odd, and you blow up. I mean, you can.
I gotta test to it. I gotta test to it.
You know what I mean? So every breakfast DJ suffers from the breakfast DJ gut. It is a thing.
It's a thing, yeah.
It's a thing. So I let go for those first, say, 2009, 10, 11, 12. I let go. I was at every party. I was eating anything. I was, with the money. I was, yes, like Africans would say, you're living good. But I was destroying my body. You know, that point where you're sleeping and you're snoring, you're like, somebody's in the house. And the missus goes, no, that's you, homie. That's you, sleep apnea and stuff, you know. So I actively made that decision to start jogging again. And I started running while I was still at Fresh. And I made my journey, I made my journey very public at the time. Yeah. You know, I was running.
I remember from the posts and so on.
And then, and then it was me trying to like, really like not go the route my mom went, and also having to deal with, so it was, I could say it was, I think when my marriage was finalized, and the realization really kicked in that, yo, for the first time in my whole entire life, I'm alone. No mother. Because I only grew up with my mom. You know, my dad is that side of it. Yeah. And that realization, I think, really took its toll on me. I went heavily into drinking. I went heavily into drugs. I was a womanizer of note. I wouldn't even lie. It was just self-destruction.
Was your mom still alive at that time, or she was?
No.
And that's not when she passed.
When she passed, like the first years after she passed. Now that's when I was just totally reckless, not knowing. Like I said, not knowing. A year later, I started unpacking with a psychologist now, with a shrink, and that's where I realized, like, Mamenia, you were a broken man.
Yeah. From the age of 15, like you mentioned.
Yeah, you were a broken man. Look, my parents got divorced when I was 12. And by the age of 15, I was man of the house, me and my mom. Because my dad kicked me and my mom out on the street when I was 12. I won't lie. It was a rainy night. was, I think, just after my birthday.
In SA now?
No, that time we were here in Soweto now, at his house in Soweto. He kicked my mom, and I think this was 1994.
Okay.
He kicked me and my mom out.
Yeah.
They were fighting in the house, and I stepped into the middle. And he's like, oh, so you're big man now. I think I was 12 or so. You're a big man now. He's the outie. Yeah, then you and your mom. And I told him that day, shop. So we left. So those first, from 1994, 95, 96, me and my mom were on the streets. No?
From family house?
Family, friends.
Like there was just no solid foundation?
There was no, and like by the time I was 15, I was like, it's just, I'm protecting my mom at all costs. So by that time I was 15 also, my mom had just, also just gotten back to her feet, and she bought the house in Penning Street now. So fast forward to Penning Street, this is 1996, 95, 96, moved to Penning Street. My dad had just, out of the blue, came from nowhere, said this boy is going to St. Paul's. I was doing very well. I was at Namibia English Primary School. NEPS at the time, it's called the Namibia Primary School right now. Yeah. And my mom's just like, yo, you need to go write a test at this school, XYZ. My dad picks me up. I don't speak to dude. I don't know dude. I'm still angry at dude.
Yeah.
Actually, I was
until today, like you guys, not until today, but like
until until 2 years ago. I actually had to learn how to forgive.
All right.
So I write this test. I get accepted to St. Paul's. So now this is the scenario. I stay in Penning Street. Now, the worst of the worst. Now.
At the time, yeah.
Yeah, and all the homies I play with in the street or chill with in the street, the older brothers are like, you know what I'm saying? These are ghouls, these are thugs, these are... They're
involved in stuff.
They're involved in things. And so that aspect of my life is like every child in the hood is like, ek wil 'n gomcha wees.
Yeah.
Ek wil soos Penna wees. Soos David Nicanor wees. Ek wil soos I don't want,
But all the legends.
Yeah, I want to call them legends. Let's call them the Robin Hoods. Let's call them the Robin Hoods of the hood. Yeah. And then in the mornings from say 7 until 1, I am in the best private school with the elitist kids of the country, and then after school, then I'm with the grimiest of the Kham, Aniglokasi. So that was my end of primary school and my whole high school life. Now, I was always at the best of both worlds, and in that regard, any town I was like, yo, don't play with that guy. But in the hood, it's like I was just one of the guys.
You're just one of the guys. Yeah.
So that was the facade, or should I say the
reality.
The reality I was in.
Yes. To understand the context of how you ended up.
Who I was or where I'm at, and in that I met my ex-wife in 1998 in high school. She had just came from I don't know where, and for the 24 years I've known her until the divorce, she's watched this journey. She's watched this journey, and even to the peak of the climax of the Fresh FM gig, she was there. But when Fresh FM did this, we did this because I was everybody's boyfriend at the time. Even if I don't know who anybody is, it's just you Cheeze. I mean, we were even trained like, tell your spouses you belong to the country now. If you have a woman who's mature like that to understand, she'll understand.
Because radio science is, there's something that a male presenter does for a female, and it's good for the business. Yeah, all those sciences.
All those things, yeah. But so where were we? Ooh.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, no. And we obviously
the weight.
Spell it from the weight.
Yeah. So the weight.
So your mom passes now.
There was a wake up. But then yes, not mourning her properly or knowing how to mourn or taking her loss. I did everything to harm me, to numb actually, to numb. I only found that out, like I said, 2 years ago when I was really unpacking that. I was numbing. Number one, I didn't have a father figure. I'm not saying as an excuse. I had an idea of what a father figure should be, and it was totally wrong. totally handicapped. But I don't blame myself for being handicapped in the right regard, because it was not my responsibility to teach myself that. But I had to learn that, and that was painful at the age of 39. So I started running, and later on, it's called the runner's high. It's where you chase this high, man. Later on, it's like you're floating. It's like you see your feet move, but you can't hear yourself breathing. It's just like you're floating. I don't know how to explain it to you. So that was my new drug, and I started running excessively.
But at the same time, you're still numbing yourself.
I'm still numbing myself, and I'm
with
exercising.
All the vices.
Yes, and I'm like trying to get away from this vice, and I'm trying to chase this healthier vice. But I'm not supplementing. You know, I'm not getting affection. I'm not giving affection. I'm not to say food physically. I'm like I'm not being fed in other areas. You know,
soul, everything.
And yes, and I mean you can eat as much as you want, but if the heart's not right, my friend, and it won't show.
True.
You know, and there was that time, I think it was, we're in 2023, 2022. Yeah, my marriage was finalized 2001. 2022.
You mean 2021?
Yeah.
Marriage was finalized
2021.
Yeah.
2022, by the end of 2022, after the imbalanced lifestyle, I looked at myself in the mirror, I'm like, nah, man.
But by that time, the body's gone.
The body's gone.
And it doesn't really look the way you wanted it to look.
Yeah, and I'm not even running anymore. Now I'm just mourning. You know, I'm in the mourning stage because I was forced to go into that mourning stage.
Mourning your mom or mourning the marriage?
I'm mourning my mom. I'm mourning Cannibal. I'm mourning Carrie Cat. I'm mourning Mentos Ipondoka, my best friend. I'm mourning my marriage. I really had to face those losses.
And you're mourning Fresh FM.
Oh, my baby. That one was the hardest pill to swallow. It was because I really felt I was angry at Norman for selling. I was angry for him for leaving me like this. We built this, what's up? You know, that's how I felt, abandoned by everybody. That's where I was, and that's where I felt like Cannibal. That's why I say I think this is how he must have felt.
But you did say earlier in the beginning, you did say that you would harm someone else more as opposed to harming yourself.
Yes,
so suicide thoughts were not really top of mind.
No. I always, when I say I think I know how he felt is I've had that moment where I'm like, nobody would miss your ass actually. No, but it wasn't like I'm gonna take my life. It was like, think about it. You've called so many people right now for help. Your homies, your friends, your brothers.
Because the yellow vent to Kenya, bro.
And
like, you know what I mean? Like, if it stands, you know what I mean?
And I'm like, if they can do this to me, they definitely did it to Cannibal. Then I was like, you know what? For his sake, I'm gonna fight this. This depression right here. This depression.
And that's the decision that you made in 2022.
Yes, I made that conscious decision, and then the therapy got intensive. And mind you, my therapist wanted to retire like the year before, but because my story was so interesting to her, she's like, I'm going to take you to the end, or at least where I feel you can take on this world again by your lone self. And shout out to
your therapist.
Yeah, thank you. Saved my life. She kept me out of jail, number one, because when the intensive session started I called her one night and I'm like, I'm sitting in front of this house and I'm about to go do something stupid.
Which now brings me to my next question, because you were very public about the limitations and at the time you called it intentional limitations.
Yes, sir.
You were very public about that. You went on Facebook, you went on talk shows in which you narrated the fact, to your degree, that you were being limited from seeing your offspring,
yes, sir,
your children. Can you make us understand what was going on there? Because yes, we see the updates. We see something is going on here with Cheeze and his family, and he's saying that, and because you were also sort of kind of speaking in codes, right? And I guess maybe because of legally, maybe you're trying to avoid issues and so on. At some point, you said that the courts even got involved, or you got help from that end. Make us understand what happened there, because fine, you lost your job, okay? You had this gig at Energy, you know what I mean? Obviously, it's not at the high of where you were. But you were doing something. You made the conscious decision to move out of this depression.
Yes, sir.
Fine, divorce is finalized, but that shouldn't affect the relation with the kids, right?
Yes, sir.
So make me understand what happened there. Were you limited to see your kids, and why were you limited to see your kids?
Yes, sir. All right. So this is strictly from my point of view.
Of course.
I have 3 kids, a girl and 2 boys, and when we separated, she got custody because I was like, I can start over, I'm a man.
So you willingly said you have custody.
You guys go. I'm not gonna fight. I know I'm effed up. I know this is all me. Sharp. But during that time, I was staying at a guest house in Windhoek West, yes.
You know, the final stages of the
divorce.
divorce.
But during that time of separation, things got
to the point where you couldn't live in one house now.
No, I left. We couldn't live in one house. I left.
Oh, okay, you left.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, certain things also happened for me to leave. But things to have led up to that point where I had to leave, I was vindicated. I'm still vindicated because I was suspecting, right?
Oh, okay.
And then I was like, I didn't have an idea who, but not even a year after the divorce, my daughter calls me one evening. It's like, Daddy, I don't like him. I'm like, who's him? And then I'm like, oh, okay. Then I'm like, okay, don't worry, I'll handle it. So here I call the mom, right, to say like, listen, if you're going to bring people around my kids, don't you think me, you, and Mr. Man sit down with the kids and tell them,
have a conversation.
This is the situation from now onwards. Let's not confuse my man, he was 3 years old at the time. Not confuse my 3-year-old. Man, when she found out I knew she had somebody, that's when it went like that. Who are you? Stay out of my life. I'm like, I don't care. Is my concern. My daughter's calling me, crying. I'm concerned. So.
And you love your kids because you raised them from the ground.
Oh man, I mean,
this isn't a situation of, oh, my kids live by someone else.
No, and how we had to fight, how we had to fight to fall pregnant also in the first place. Because there are journeys that I will not mention, or I can't mention in public, but this I'll speak about because it's done. So, the main reason I was kept away was just because my daughter actually not exposed that. Because my daughter exposed that and I confronted her about it, I got blocked from my daughter's phone, from the nanny's phone, from her phone. And I'm like...
So there's no access, there's no...
No, because I am messing up this new thing that they are trying to, this new family thing that they are... It's like people wanted me to be dead, like I don't exist. But I'm like, I'm here. You will not do this. Now you're going to get me. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to live this journey right here, because I'm sure there are a lot of guys that go through this. I'm not a deadbeat dad. I really want to be involved, but you are keeping me away. Why? Because of a certain way you feel about me, or us, or what we had. No? Came to the point where I didn't even know where my kids lived. My kids would move school, and I wouldn't be told. It's like, I'm dead, NSK. I'm dead. I don't exist. So I started ruffling the feathers of the moms, the sisters. I'm fighting. I'm like, guys, this is not right. Because you're protecting your new relationship, né? Or you don't want to be exposed to, like, this is actually why your marriage failed. This is the guy. Now you feel you can be free. No, you will not be free around my kids. Don't bring that guy around my kids, because I'm uncomfortable with my daughter calling me crying about dude. So it was a whole back and forth, man. I can't explain to anybody.
And you wear your emotions on your sleeves.
Exactly.
Hence why it was on Facebook. Hence why you made it to the talk show.
Hence to the police stations, bruh. Where I'm like calling dude. I'm like, my mans, if you're a man, let's let's sit down with the kids. Just me and you. Screw the crazy person right now. Me and you, just are out. And it's a friend of mine, my guy.
It's a friend
it's
of
a guy.
yours.
It's a kid I know. It's a kid I know. And I'm not afraid to say it. I'm not afraid to say it. It's a kid.
It's your truth, my man.
Yeah, it's a kid I know. And I'm like, wow. You know, dog. You knew all the time?
You know my life. You know.
Okay, so that was the betrayal.
Number one. Yeah.
And then the keeping my kids away was the never end there. That's where I thought I will rather né, let these kids go into a system, né? Then let you guys confuse them, and make them think that the dad is a deadbeat non. At the time, I couldn't give my kids anything, but just out of humanity, for humanity's sake, just respect that he's a father, and that these kids they didn't ask to be here or get this, but they do deserve and just an explanation of how things are going to be now. Because now my 3-year-old's like, okay, so daddy's not here. Because there was this one time where my kids, when I'm with them, they just not connecting with you. I had to stop them from telling me, because they just download. And I think it also came to a point where every time I would drop them and things have been downloaded on me, I didn't handle it right. I was like, then what the hell is going on here? I would confront her. And then she would reprimand the kids. And that, I just drew the wedge bigger and bigger and bigger.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's only...
I see it.
It's only now, a couple of months now. It's only the last 3 months where I forced, actually, she was forced by the authorities because she's breaking the law. So I've been unblocked from my daughter's phone for the last 3 months, and it's fantastic.
And it's literally just the last 3 months?
Yeah, last 3 months. And I'm happy. That's why I got what I was
and we're happy now for you, my man. You know what I mean?
And, no, I'm happy.
And I tell you this, because, you know, when it comes to this deadbeat conversation,
oh, man.
Don't get me wrong, we do have a fatherless problem.
Facts.
In this country.
Majority.
Yes. We have a fatherless problem, you know? And there are different circumstances. There's maybe a guy who is constantly working, he doesn't have time for the kids, but he's providing financially. Or he's there fully, but he doesn't have anything to provide in terms of money.
Yes,
the family is, you know. So what I'm asking you is this. You're going through this process.
Yeah.
With the coin being flipped now and things being a little different, because usually it's the female that would experience some sort of injustice. You know, the guy's not doing anything, he's gone, he's disappeared, we're trying to trace him. But you are there trying to fight for the kids, right? There's always been this perception that the magistrate favors women.
Oh yeah.
Are you of that opinion?
I can attest to that. When a woman goes to say the Ministry of Gender, or whether she goes to any police station and she lays down a statement, no questions are asked. But the minute you go as a man and say, listen man, I've been fighting to see my kids, they look at you like, what do you mean? I'm like, I don't know where they stay. I don't know what they eat. I don't know. But it's like, no, what did you do to them? I said nothing. What did you do to the mother? Then I said, then you should ask the mother. Why am I blocked on the nanny's phone? What did the nanny do to me? I'm following up like, did they eat? Do they have homework? That one is coughing. I know he's got a chest problem. That's my kids. You know? They look at you as in you nuts, man.
And you experienced that, didn't you?
Yes. Twice I had to go to the crime prevention unit of Nampo, twice. The first time was when I called dude, and I'm like, yo, we need to talk. No? We need to talk, seriously. Dude's like, we got nothing to talk about. And I'm like, okay, then just stay away from my kids. Then I said, no, I'll stay away from them if they want to stay away from me. He's like, okay, Varek, you create then. Don't try and stay away from me. Sharp. The man can khatas too. And it's not a joke. It's not a joke. He goes to the cops. The cops call me. Stay away. So I tell the cops my story. They're like, oh, okay, no, we'll talk to them. They get reprimanded. It's like, yo, if you guys want to be what, be it away from the house, away from the kids. Those were the instructions. Lo and behold, just to find out they're not doing that. The second time I go, it's a different police officer I have to deal with. It came to the point where I had to go to dude's mom's house, homie.
To try and reason.
No, because now Cheeze is done. Now you're dealing with me now. Now you're dealing with
Azeal.
known as no sewer. And I get there and she answers the door and I'm like, yo, his man's here. She's like, no, why? Who are you? And I'm like, Mama, thank God I found you here because I would have done something stupid today. And that's just how God. And I think I'll from that day on, I'll also tell you my spiritual journey.
Of course, yeah.
And that day, God prevented me from doing something. I'm not lying. That day, NSK, was the day you would have heard I'm locked up. For what? Something stupid. And I told her exactly what I've just said. And she's like, no, I'll speak to them.
This is not the mother, the dude's mother.
Yeah. That same night, the cops called me.
Yeah,
no, let's come sort. Yeah, let's go come sort. I'm like, yeah. The intention is to get dude to the table to sit in front of me and just talk, or just because you are going to be around my kids, my friend. It's like I have 3 hearts outside my rib. Anybody can do this to them now. Exactly. Anybody can, and I am not there to protect them. That is any man's worst fear. It's like you remove the purpose. You removed a certain purpose in my life, you know, and I just want to make sure that if my kids are around you, I don't have to worry.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry,
you want to
friend.
have peace of mind.
Then we're good. But now, why are you dodging? What dodge, No, I know the two of you are together. I think it was just a shame of them coming out with a relationship. Still a shame, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, look, we appreciate you sharing this.
And I don't mind.
Because, I mean, men in our position, you know, and like again, we'll go watch the episode of Elva now. Men in our position, we put on this. We're living, we're good, everything is nice, you know, on shock. But there are issues that are eating us at the back.
Everybody.
Right? And I think it's about time that the public knows. I think it's about time that the audience, our fans, it's about time that they understand.
Yes, NSK.
This thing, isn't it?
The thing is, NSK, I wanted people to understand where I'm at right now, and if you had followed those posts were like a serious cry of help from a grown man, having had all doors closed in his face because of an injustice I felt was being done unto me, using my kids. They didn't ask for this. It's not about me and you anymore. You know, we have 3 lives here. You know, I don't want to shame people, but I really want the nation or people watching this to understand that if you do go through a divorce or a separation and kids are involved, put them first in the process also. Don't, because then you are just creating another me. Yeah. Another you. We are just creating...
I mean, you were 12 years old when that happened
and now the cycle is going to continue.
Yes.
You understand. And lo and behold, like I admitted. I admitted my wrongs. I had to face my vices, my demons. I had to face the alcohol. I had to face the drugs. You know, alcohol is everywhere. You know, and being in the industry that we are, sometimes I do get invited to a space. If I have like 1 glass, then I get reminded of, you don't want to go back there. Then you go home. You know, NSK. Now that's the life now. But like I said, the previous venting on social media, I even stopped because she begged me to stop. You better stop that stuff on social. And I said, can I just see my kids? I stopped on social media. I'm seeing my kids.
Seeing your kids. And obviously that's a win for you.
It's a win. Thank you.
Tell me about your spiritual journey. You mentioned that God saved you on many occasions.
Oh yes.
And that night of you going to his house, the guy that is not involved with your ex-wife's mom's house, that's the night where you said, look, listen, maybe I need to allow God in.
You know, that night when I got the call from the police to come in, I was like, you know what, let's go shoot up this whole station. I was at that point, but you know what, I said, you guys come get me.
Because you go in there, you will go armed, you will go ready for war.
Yeah, come get me. They never rocked up. And
they never rocked up?
No. No, but, you know, it's just to find that sometimes you get people who are also connected. You understand? And you never know when a police officer come, what, or we're going to come fetch you at night. Nah, fam, I'll come in the morning. Because I don't know if I'll make it to that police station also.
True.
They never came until today. And then that night, NSK, I was like, yo, man, if there is a God, let me know tonight. And that very next day, I got a job from the Namibian.
Because obviously that time you have gone from Energy.
Yeah, I was from Energy like 6, 7 months, 8 months. And then the Namibian's like, yo, let's go. And I'm like, now imagine if I had to be in jail now today. That's how God works. And since then, it's been incredible. It's amazing, man.
Are you planning on neutralizing your body in terms of vitamins so you can gain some sort of weight back? Or
I'm
are you
good,
happy
man.
with your body?
I'm very happy with my body right now.
Spiritually, you are aligned?
Yes, I fast a lot these days, and it's I feel healthy, man. I mean, even the shandi is bigger, you know. No, I'm saying.
Is Cheeze involved? Is there someone that is making him smile at night now?
Man, I'm gonna.
Or you just like, no, let me just focus on myself.
I love too hard, you know. So I'm really guarding this with everything I have, because I know the next person that's gonna get it, she gonna get it, man. So like, No, I'm that type of guy.
Exactly, because you are now your correct version of yourself, of what you need to be.
Oh yeah, no, it's like, you know, it's like Christiana, my therapist, said that, you know, it's not, no, it's like your ex just prepared you for your next, you know. And not to knock my ex, I mean, she's the mother of my kids. I will always love her, let's be honest, as a human being now, you know. The hurt, you can only get over if you forgive, you know. I've forgiven. I've forgiven everybody that's done me wrong in the last 2 years, 3 years, you know. I had the world's friends, you know. And at my time of insecurity and uncertainty, I actually pushed everybody away because I was frustrated. I'm like, why are you not coming through for me, homie? I remember I was there, but I was really being just an ugly person and not even thinking my friend is probably still going through some shit. But it was all about me at the time. And forgiveness was one of the biggest lessons that, as an angry man, I couldn't do. But then we had to unpack my father, and every time I went home and did some exercises, everything just came back to my dad. Back to my dad. And I was lucky enough to have my dad here. When was beginning of 2020, no, the end of, the middle of 2022. My dad came for a week because he obviously heard now. From that side, things are not, your son don't look good. It's a singani. So I'm like, oh, hey there, stranger. Yes, what up?
But in the meantime, you've been dealing with it.
So I've been dealing, and then we did have a conversation, a grown man conversation, and he apologized. He apologized, and that moment he apologized, and I could see it was a genuine apology. I could feel my heart, the hatred just go away. And that hatred also brought about the way I could actually like look at the mother of my children as a person again, as a human being, as a woman, you know. Whatever she's going through, I don't know. However she treats me, I don't care. But whenever we see each other now, like, hi, how are you? Good? Nah. Kids.
Because at the end of the day, it's about the kids.
It's about the kids. So that's the journey.
Now that you're on the subject of forgiveness, I'm going to ask you a series of questions.
Yes, sir.
Yes, no.
Just yes, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you forgiven Norman Cotter?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Can I explain? No.
Okay, explain.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I've forgiven him because, you know, if you do go on a journey to get to know your God, you know there are certain callings for yourself. And that was not my calling.
Okay.
And it's not my time.
Have you forgiven dude that took over your that was pushed into social media?
I greet him every time I greet him with a smile, but he never smiles back, so I forgive him.
And that's not your problem, right?
It's
like
not my, because I can run further than he can, so. So in that regard, we good, homie, yeah, no, facts, facts.
There's this, how to put it, you see, with Cannibal and Kitty Cats, their deaths, right? It did hit you hard.
Oh,
right? And hence why you said, if there is a God, show me today, show me tonight, whether you exist there.
Yes, sir.
Is it safe to assume that you have forgiven your God for taking these two souls?
Yes, because look, I'm not to knock how their mothers or their families must feel, but they each played a role in somebody's life. But what we fail to do as human beings is to take a lesson from some people. You can take a lesson from the tea lady, from the gardener, from a CEO. If you just sit back and like, what can I take away from this person's life that has taught me to be a better person? Curtis was lupus. I mean, and my mom was also like, it's once you accept that death is part of life, that's when you only start living, my friend. Because a lot of people is so cooped up trying to take care of this life and not wanting to accept that, one day you're going to die. We all going to die.
Your loved ones.
It's part of life, yes. And when loved ones go, we always, after tears, now then you forget about it. No, my friend, what is that person's absence going to mean to you for the next 6 months? We all think like, okay, Strauss is gone, I'll survive. Not knowing that, actually, every Monday, the only span to have
like practical small things, you know what I mean?
And what why I say that deaths, because 061, we were blowing at the time when Curtis was going. I mean, he even bought the Golf at the time, because we had a chat before that. I was like, you know what, it's your money, man, you buy the Golf. Me, I'm just gonna put 22s on this Range Rover right here. You know what I'm saying? So it was that type of fun friendship, because it's like, and I always say, if he had to still be alive, we would be freaking multi-billionaires by now.
Because he was a Beyonce.
Not just, but he was also, his business acumen and his marketing was always, it's like, nah, man, let's do this, man. I'm like, that won't work, homie. It's like, just watch me. That was it, right? And then just give the money, Cheeze. And then at the top of everything, boom, Kanye, I watched Spiral.
It was a process.
But I couldn't be there because I was also spiraling. And there was this one night, we were separated, but I always used to go check up on the kids still. And then she was driving me home, and then we find Kanye. And put him in the backseat. This is in Rocky Crest, and she was taking me to, I was staying in Ochimisi at the time.
He was walking on it?
Yeah, he's walking, but Kanye walked, And then he sees us together, and he just starts crying. I start crying. She starts crying. And then a week later, he's gone. We didn't say nothing to Kanye. I didn't say nothing to her. I just went to his funeral, and then I couldn't believe it. But I was not going to feel guilty as I felt guilty with Mentos Ipondoka's death.
Look, your best friend now.
Yeah, Mentos was my bestie. Regardless of what he did, I knew he was on drugs, I knew. But when he was with me, he wasn't doing that. And that is where I was always striving to be with me. When he calls me, I make it a point to go get him. But this particular Friday, I was trying to make things right with the missus. I don't know what we did at the time, but this was, because we must remember Mentos went before my mom, before Cat, before he went first, And for some reason, Mentos is like, bro, please come get me, please come through. Because he had been clean for probably 6-8 months at the time. I don't answer the phone. Saturday goes by. Sunday, I'm not worried. I start calling. Nah, he's not answering. That Monday, I just got home. Did the breakfast show. Just got home by 1 o'clock. I get a call. He'll come through. I'm like, I can't marula to come da. Bra. You know, it was so surreal. It's like, I didn't believe it until I saw his mother. But I still didn't. I know. It's like he's gonna go and he's gonna come back. I lived like that for a year. Wrong move.
And obviously that.
Then Kat gives me the curveball. Then my mom gives me the curveball. Kani gives me the curveball.
And that just.
And then I'm like, nah, man. Yeah. How many curveballs do you have, homie? How many curveballs can one person survive? But I'm here, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't regret the deaths. But it sounds mean to say, but I take it from Kani, I learned that you never give up. Don't do that. Because I see how people are treating him. Kani, I think I celebrate Kani more than anybody else. I celebrate Ket more than anybody else. I celebrate Mentos more than anybody else. Because if you die and people forget about you, you die twice. And I sure as hell died, and I saw nobody care.
At some point,
I was dead.
You were dead. You were gone.
Dead, and I saw, this is what happens when you die. Nobody cares. The world goes on. So from Kanye, I took like, the world goes on. So you show the world, my guy. You show them. You don't.
Obviously, there's still some things that you want to do. There's still some things that you want to achieve.
Oh yeah.
Before we let you go, what is the dream? Because yes, the dream was Fresh FM. At some point, the dream became music. At some point, it was business. But you are at Desert Radio now. You finding your feet now again. Spiritually, you there. Your body, you said you are healthy.
I'm happy.
What's the dream? What's the dream?
Man.
Because I can't even ask you, do you want the old cheese bag? That cheese is I think that is, it's
Look,
a wrap.
if you have to ask me in a context, as a father, the immediate dream is just to, by next year, be able to pick up my kids from school. That's the closest and I think the most tangible dream. If we have to look career-wise, man, I've done it all, man. Nah? Radio-wise. I think the podcast world is so saturated. It's, you know, it's beautiful. Everybody's talking to which is, I love the conversations that are being had. When it comes to radio, the dream is still,
pardon me,
definitely to own my own station. It will happen. Hook or crook, it will happen. That is definitely going to happen.
It's a bit tough now, bro, with the frequencies.
It's not that, NSK. You know what? It's you know, the smaller station has the potential to take you down. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
But you need radio people to run radio.
Yes.
That's the only way that this industry will survive and come back. But when it comes to radio, I've like I said, I think I've done it all. But to own one, definitely. Whether it's a hobby or as a hobby when I'm in my 50s or 60s, just to have a station, it's definitely gonna.
So that's the main dream.
Yeah, and then, professionally right now, I'm not gonna lock myself down to anything because I feel like it's like a rebirth. I feel like a kid again. It's like I feel like I can, man. I want to be a tour guide. If you know.
Yeah.
But right now I'm not too worried about doing things for gratification anymore. I just want to do things because I love doing it and I'm doing it for people I love.
Yeah. So that's the dream. I think that's incredible. And look, from us here at Industry Loop, you know, we that's why we're doing this. You know, we're doing this. We're doing this because we want to unearth. We want to clarify some of these things. We want you and the rest to own their truth.
Yes, sir.
We want to understand what your dream is. We want you to manifest it.
Amen.
We want to, when we consciously think about you now next time, everyone, we know now, okay, Cheeze's dream is to own a radio station.
It will happen. Maybe I already do, you don't know.
You don't know.
Yes. And yeah, no, look, from my side, I would just like to say, like, I didn't know what to expect walking in here. But yes, as we got to the middle of the conversation, I really felt like, you know, I even spoke to your producer. I'm like, yo, am I allowed to speak to about the... And then I'm like, you know what, because some things are still sub judice, I think, and some things might just break down what we've built, what I've just gotten now. But then I was like, you know what, I can share stories where I had my inbox flooded at the times when I was ranting on Facebook. It's like, oh, bro, I'm going through the same. Oh, bro, I know my brothers. It's like, oh, bruh, my brother's going through the same thing. My cousin's going through the same thing. And I'm like, you see, suffering in silence is the worst thing that you can do to not yourself, but the people around you. Because when you suffer in silence, and I don't want to sound like too much Dr. Phil, right? But when you suffer in silence, you have no cure, clearly, right? But when you suffer in public, trust me, you're either going to find somebody is going through the same or worse, or has gone through it and can tell you, yo, NSK, ABC. So, no matter how embarrassing, I mean, how embarrassing wasn't it for Cheeze to walk down Independence Avenue, get taxi zaki? Because Cheeze was that stuff. You hear what I'm saying? But I didn't want to like hide. It's what's going to happen to you if you don't do X, Y, Z. Cannibal is what's going to happen to you if you don't pull your socks together. So let's not hide our emotions. Let's not suffer in silence. Please, 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 please. Even if you do see something is wrong with yourself and you don't know who to reach out to, man, speaking to strangers helps. You know, sometimes I used to go to the park, strike up a conversation with a random tate, bra. Then that guy would tell you his story from A to B, then you're like, you know what, my problem is not that bad.
And then that gives you
and actually, I went there to vent my problem, and then I see like, nah, I'm good. You keep that one. Yeah. So, but all in all, we're good. I'm just happy at where I'm at with my kids. I'm happy where I'm at professionally. Financially now, obviously.
Yeah, obviously not. Yeah, obviously not. Yeah. You are
starting from scratch.
Yes,
sir. Yes, sir. I mean, to me, and you know, in our industry, actually, if you're not mobile, you won't make money.
True.
You know, the gigs are there, but to get there is the problem.
Yeah.
So, but that hurdle, I'm praying hard on, you know. So, and like I said, to pick up the kids next year on this way.
My man. KBBDP.
Jesus. It was an honor.
My man.
It was an honor.
It really was an honor.
Yeah. Next time I'll be sitting over there and you'll be sitting over there.
And I'll be sitting over there because I know you've got questions for me also.
Yeah! If they only knew. I also want to
don't be bringing my things
I also want to ask you that, yes or no? Thanks, buddy. No, it's been a pleasure. Man.
Let's leave it at that. That is your Friday. That is your edition of Industry Loop this or this day or for the next couple of days. The next Industry Loop, obviously, we're going to bring in another fairy character, another character that you need more clarifications. You'd want them to own their truth. Remember, like Cheeze said, like Elvo said, like Jericho said, and all the other guests that we had on this couch, suffering in silence can only lead to down there. And I think we want to stay up here, isn't it? Rebuild our life so that we aim to be leveled. Thank you so much for always, you know, choosing us, for sharing, for commenting, even if it means reaching out to us to help Cheeze or Elvo or whatever the case may be. And I can tell you right now, going into next year, closing off the year with a couple of more episodes, but going into next year, you will see some of the characters that we've had on this couch. By next year, you will see their lives taking a huge uptake, and that will be thanks to you. So yeah, let's leave it at that. My name is NSK. Until the next loop, we say GMTM.
Yeah, come over the cat to cut the leaf.